I mean, the solo that Taylor takes on that record is Barrelhouse Chuck. That's Chuck. And I don't know how it happened, but I swear to God, when we heard the playbacks, I had tears in my eyes because Taylor channeled Chuck so hard on that solo. Like I get misty-eyed just talking about it now. You know, it was so perfect. And anyways, you know, if people don't know who Barrelhouse Chuck is, they should definitely look him up and find his recordings, keep his memory alive. You know, he spent the last bunch of years playing with Kim Wilson and his blues band, so that'll tell you something right there.
Yeah, for sure. That was well stated, so let's pause here for a quick break and listen to this fine tribute. It's our special guest with He Walked with Giants, and we'll be right back.
This is a story that must be heard. You ever known it played? When it spoke, it was every word. He walked with giants. They were on his left, you know, and on his right. Montgomery, Pine Top Perkins, Sunnyland Slim. You know it was blues every night. Gainesville to Chicago, man, and drove straight on through, just to meet his heroes. You know who spoke the truth. Oh, man, they walk with giants, people. They were hunters left, you know, and they were hunters right. You know you had Big Moose, Jimmy Rogers, and Little Joe. Oh, you know it was blues every night. Go ahead, Taylor, play one for Chuck.
Hey, baby, let me be your honey dripper. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. I am the Tail Dragger. You listen to Blues America. The blues. Keep on listening.
Hi, this is Alligator recording artist Rick Estrin, and I want to tell you about the Blues Foundation. The Blues Foundation is a non-profit organization dedicated to preserving blues history, celebrating great blues performances, and ensuring the future of this uniquely American art form. The Foundation staff works throughout the year serving the worldwide blues community with answers and assistance, contact information, and news. Learn more about the Blues Foundation at blues.org.
Hi, this is Billy Boy Arnold. That means I sing nothing but the blues. You're listening to Blues America.
Came home last night, note on the door. My baby told me she ain't ever gonna be here no more. I said, woo.
Note on the door and the music bed by today's special guests Nick Moss and Dennis Grueling, as heard on the new Alligator release, The High Cost of Low Living. Nick, that title kills me. That song is hot. We opened the show with this one. How'd you come up with it?
Well, originally it came from on our travels, man, we see a lot of things, and one of my favorite things to do, especially when traveling down south, well, sometimes we take these secondary roads, secondary highways, and you always see the Baptist churches out there, and they have, by far, the most entertaining marquees out front. Like, all their marquees are so hilarious, and I saw this marquee, and it said, "Beware the high cost of low living," and then it said, "Get your, come inside and get your credits." And I saw, what a great, that's a great title for a song, and it's basically about someone who takes and never gives back, and thinks that it's never going to end, and the party is always on, and unfortunately, they don't realize that nothing lasts forever, and you better start thinking about being grateful and thankful and giving back, and it's a fairly self-explanatory concept.
It is. The longer you put off paying for your part, the bigger the interest gets.
There you are. Actually, two of the titles on the record came from Baptist church songs. Get Right Before You Get Left, that came from a Baptist church sign also.
So, Nick, you've been cutting records in Chicago for many years, but now you've got a home with Alligator Records.
Well, the Alligator thing was easy because, I had my own label for so long, and Dennis had been putting on his stuff, but for me, it was easy. It was easy. My small label, Blue Bella, was fairly successful for a mom and pop, thing. It was just my wife and I doing it, and Kate, I give her more of the credit than myself. There's that power of prestige behind a name like Alligator, so I knew that eventually I was going to have to give up the Blue Bella for a while, and if I really wanted to step forward, go with somebody that was well known. And so when we decided to do this record, we were actually on the blues cruise, and I ran into Kid Anderson, and I told Kid. Actually, Kid came and goes, "Oh, you guys sound great. You guys should record together." And I was like, "Yeah, well, we're already talking about that." "Yeah, right." And I said, "Man, I would love for you to come in and help produce." And he said, "Oh, I'd be honored to." And I said, you know what Bruce wants to hear, and you know exactly what Dennis and I love about traditional sound, and I think you could get a happy medium, a good mix of that." And so, I was targeting Alligator. That's really all I cared. I didn't want to go anywhere else. I mean, I would probably shop it if Alligator turned it down, but I knew Alligator was where who I was going to target, and I was pretty,
We were focused on.
Yeah, I was focused on that. It was a singular focus, and I remember sending Bruce an email before we even recorded. Said, "Hey, I'm about to record a CD here with Dennis Grueling. Kid's gonna produce it. Would you be interested in hearing it?" And within minutes, not even days, within minutes, I got a reply back and said, "Yes, absolutely. Please send it to me when it's done." And then, then we did it, and then it was as I'm sure any person that has ever signed with Alligator will tell you, then it was a long, long dance.
Yes.
Once he decided, yeah, Bruce is meticulous, if nothing else. He's great. He hasn't had this company for as long as he's had it, with the artists that he's had on it for no reason. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. He's extremely meticulous, and it was kind of it kind of actually freaked me out because I had never had to deal with a record company before because I was doing it myself for so long.
Sure.
I remember actually calling up Tommy Castro on the phone. I'm like, "Tommy, I keep getting these emails, man, and he's asking question after question." And Tommy just laughed and he said, "Just answer the question." He said, "Just answer the question. If he wasn't interested, he would have already told you." He's not interested. Just answer the question. Just write it out. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how that...
And we've both known Bruce. Nick and I have both known Bruce for a long time. He's always been encouraging of what we've done over all these years. And really, for me, and I know likely for you from what I've heard, the Alligator recordings early on in my playing and my, understanding and exposure to blues music played a huge part. The first blues record I heard was on Alligator Records, and a lot of the early acts that I got hip to, like William Clark and Little Charlie and the Nightcats. And I heard that Albert Collins stuff even on the radio. And I was like, man, it just played a big part in exposing me to that music, early on, right when I got hit to blues. And they got, I had a ton of great acts on there. So it's pretty kind of a thrill, for us also for it to come full circle like this.
Oh, yeah, man. I think my parents bought my brother Blues Deluxe for Christmas one year. And I think, what did that come out in 85 or 86?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, yeah.
Or maybe even earlier, but my brother got Blues Deluxe, and I remember we wore that record out, so I was probably in, I don't know, no, it was earlier than that, because I was probably in 6th or 7th grade when we got that record. And, Alligator's been in our life for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that Blues Deluxe was 1989. Well, gentlemen, we've reached the midpoint of the program. One of Bobby Blue Bland's biggest hits, Further On Up the Road, takes us out. It was top 50 on the pop charts and reached number 1 on the R&B charts in 1957. We'll be back soon.
Further on up the road, someone's gonna hurt you like you hurt me. Further on up the road, someone's gonna hurt you like you hurt me. Further on up the road, and maybe you just wait and see. You got to reap just what you sow. Can I say it's true, yeah? You got to reap just what you sow. Can I say it's true, yeah? Like you mistreat someone, someone's gonna mistreat you. Ooh, you're laughing pretty, baby. Someday you're gonna be crying. Now you're laughing pretty, baby. Oh, God. From the hole up the road,
Blues America is a member of the Blues Foundation. Learn more at blues.org.
Hey, everybody, this is Big John Atkinson, and you're listening to Blues America, the real deal blues radio.
America.
America!
More with this week's special guests, the stars of the show, Alligator recording artists Nick Moss and Dennis Grueling, when Blues America returns. But first, brand new blues from Canadian blues star Sue Foley, featuring the great Jimmy Vaughn on the Lucky Ones, a fine new single from Sue's Stony Plain studio release, Ice Queen. Then the blues will continue at the break with a household family name of the blues business. It's Bernard Allison, throwing down on some Chicago blues, You're Gonna Need Me. This is heard on his new album, Let It Go. And don't miss the Blues People soundbite that features the voice of the late great Big Joe Williams squeezed in between the next interview segment. And later, the Way Way Back Blues features pre-war blues pioneer Walter Vincent. We'll keep it right here for the second half of the show that's coming up in just a few minutes. This is Blues America. Distributed to fine community radio stations by the Pacifica Network and PRX, Public Radio Exchange.